Okay, welcome everyone to this evening's webinar. My name is Godfred, as some of you may know already from the page. So let's dive straight to this evening's session. Okay, so the core objectives of this evening's webinar is to help us to discover certain shortcuts, about 15 of them, that can help us save some work as we are using Excel. As we know, Excel is one of the common tools that is being used in the corporate world. And knowing some of these shortcuts might help make your work a bit move faster. So because speed is very, very important. So it will also help increase your efficiency and productivity at the end of the day. So we'll look about 15 shortcuts before we are done with today's session. So I'd like to welcome all of you again while we delve into this evening. But this webinar is strictly, it's a practical based one. So when we reach one shortcut, we'll practice it before we move on to the next one. Okay, so the next slide. Okay. Yeah, so why is it important we learn some of these shortcuts? It's because it helps reduce time spent on certain repetitive tasks, and it can also improve our productivity and also speed up our reporting and analysis. As I said, time is also of an essence. Once you are able to finish one task faster, it gives you more time to be able to work on other tasks. Okay. So I gave us an Excel sheet. I would like us to open the Excel sheet I shared with us, and then we continue from there. Okay, so this is my Excel sheet. Okay, so when you open the Excel sheet, this is what you see. You realize that some of the columns are not automatically adjusted yet. So our first shortcut we'll learn tonight for this evening session. So first of all, you have to select the whole data sets. Because if you select one, it will just adjust just one. So for example, if I select just the F, so the shortcut is basically Alt H. If you click on Alt at the same time while clicking on H, it gives you this labels on the top here, and then you just click on, you press O, and then you press I, and it does it nicely for you. Okay, so the best thing is to select the whole data set, or for this one, I'll show us how to get it manually. So it's basically here, format, and then you click on auto fit column width. So it does that neatly for us here. Just select the whole thing and go to format, and then auto fit column width. Knowing this saves you a lot of time instead of coming to manually bringing your cursor to the right hand to just the border between the two different cells and double click. Then you come here. Yeah, so I think that's it for that. But imagine we didn't know this, would have come here, double click this to expand, then we'll come somewhere else and then do it for all of them. But once you know this formula, this process, it makes your work a bit easier and faster. Okay, and the next thing we'll look at is So I'll put my data set on the left-hand side, and then I'll put the slide on the right. This is on the right hand and the slide on the left. And then we go through all of them one by one. Okay, so the next one is some navigation shortcuts that might help us in Excel. So first one is Control plus any of the arrow keys. So once you click on Control, you don't remove your finger from the control. Once you click on the right arrow key, it takes you to the right end of the data set. Once you click on the down arrow key, it takes you to the last data set on the column. Once you click on the top arrow key, it takes you to the top, and the left takes you to the left. And then if you want to go to the last cell in data, just click on Control and End, and it takes you to the last cell. So the last cell is it's on the far end of the last column. So you realize that the selected cell was the A1, which is at the top. If I click on Control End, it takes it to the last cell here, and then Control Home. There's a home key on the top on your keyboard. It takes you to the top again. And then there's also another one, PG up and PG down. Once you click on any of them, it actually helps you to scroll either up or down. Okay, so the next set of shortcuts we're gonna do is, does anyone have a question? Okay, so this next set of shortcuts we're going to learn is the selection shortcut. Okay, so you just click on Control Shift and then the arrow key, and it selects it for you. First one we learned was Control and then the arrow key that moves up and down navigation. But if you want to select the whole column, Control Shift arrow, or maybe a row is Control Shift right, or Control Shift left, and it does it for you. Okay, but if you want to select maybe an array or a matrix or a group of cells, just Control Shift right and then maybe down, just to select the entire table that you want to select. But if you want to select just the cells one by one, maybe not everything at a go one by one, just Shift and then the right or the left key. So Shift and then the left, or Shift and then down. But if you do Control Shift down, then it does the whole column or the whole row all at the same time. And then the next one is Control and Space. Control and Space. And that will select the entire column that you want to select. So if, for example, I want to select a group of rows before selecting the column, so you can use my Shift arrow left or right to select it. Then I do Control Space, and it does the entire column for me. And then Shift Space will just do the reverse, the entire row for you. Shift and Space. Okay. So the next set of shortcuts we're going to learn is the fill down, fill right. So let's say if you want to, let's say maybe this row, let me delete what is here. Let's say I get to this empty set and I press Control plus down. What it means is that copy what is on the row on top and paste it on the row below. So you realize that what's on the row on top is 6. So if I come here and I say Control D, it will paste the 6 for me. So let's say, let me delete the tablet here, and then I say Control D. You realize that it pastes the laptop there. So that's if we want to paste what is on top below, then we use the Control D. Or if you want to paste what is on the right-hand side, left-hand side to right-hand side, then you do Control R. You realize that it changed it to 6. If I do Control R here, it will delete it because there's nothing here. But if I do Control R here, you realize that it will rather paste the laptop or the tablet there. Okay. And then we move on to the next one. Okay. So the Alt Enter tool is also there. It does almost the same as the fill right. Now I'm just pressing on the Alt Enter, and then it's actually filling for me. It's basically like the fill right. Okay, okay. So let's move on to the next one. Now, with this next crop of shortcuts, so Control B is to bolding, and then Control U is to underline. You realize that if I want to bolding a group of cells, Control B, it does it for me nicely. Or if I want to underline it, Control U. And if I want to italize it, then Control I. It does it for me nicely. But then the next one will be, if I want to format cells, that is format cells, and then I click on the cell and I choose Control 1. What that means is, if you want to determine whether the cell is a number, date, there are times when in Excel we have to actually tell the actual data type of the cell. So if it's a currency, you realize that it will bring the Ghana city sign. So you want the Ghana city sign to show here, and then you do Control 1. It brings it and you just choose currency and then do OK. And it brings the currency for you. Or if it's a date and you want it, then just click on Control 1 and then choose date here. Okay, so there are a number of data types here that you can choose. If it's a number, it's a currency, it's a date, time, percentage, fraction, and then Excel will set it for you. So if it's a percentage, it actually give you the percent sign for you nicely like that. Okay. And also too, but if you want just the currency without doing the Control 1, it's just Control Shift and then the Control Shift and the dollar sign as here, the currency
Prophet,
format. Yes, I'm listening.
just a quick question. So
Okay.
the Control 1.
Yes.
Okay, is it the case that so for instance, where the F column is, the unit price, is it that when you probably select that column and then you do the Control 1 and you select say date, all the figures then convert to date format? Yes. So okay.
That's it. So once you select the whole column, it applies to all of them.
Okay. All right.
Is a question answered?
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's
Thank you.
amazing. Okay, so but if you just want, instead of doing the control one, if you just want the from the shortcut for just the currency, then it's Control Shift and then the dollar sign, just normally on the number 4. Okay, and then the next one is creating tables. So if you want to create, hello, I'm listening.
Right. So I want to take us back a little bit. So
Okay.
I saw that when you did the currency sign, I only saw the Ghana cedi there. What if you want to change it to, let's say, dollars or maybe euros? How do you effect the change?
Okay. Is it Daniel that asked the question?
Yes, it's Daniel.
Okay, okay. So it's here. So you just come to the top. You see, the control one is just a shortcut. But if you want the actual one, then it's you just come to this side, you click on it and gives it to you. Or you come here and list it for you nicely. But you realize that the currency is here. Once you click on this down arrow key, you can actually choose the one you want. Whether you want Euro, you want Chinese yen, PLC, CHF, French, and so on. So the list is here. But if you want more, you click on the more and try and specify.
Yeah, I think that's
I've answered the question.
yes, you have. Thank
Okay,
you.
that's amazing. Okay, so the other tools we are going to learn shortly is Control Z. Some of us know Control Z is to undo. If you've done something that you want to undo the changes you made, you click on it and then it reverts back to the previous state. And then redo is if you have undone something and you want to redo it again, then you click on the redo. Control S is basically if you want to save the Excel sheet. So we have the Control S, which normally, if the Excel sheet is a new sheet, automatically you do Control S and then you save it. Choose the file location and save it. But if you've already saved it before, like you've given the name already on top, then you just click on Control S and then it just saves your Excel file for you. And then the next one is Control T. Control T is if you want to turn all this into a table. Just click on Control T and then okay. So basically this side is to select the range, but you realize that the range is already selected. So if you realize that's when you see the dotted lines around it. So if that is where you want to make a table, just click on OK, and then it does it for you nicely. So it's the table. And yes. So these are some of the Excel shortcuts that I wanted us to practice today. And I hope we've learned something from this webinar. So what will happen is that the recordings will be uploaded to YouTube, and then I'll share the link on the page. But if you have any question, you can ask me before we end shortly. But before we end, I would like to share with us our WhatsApp channel that if you've not joined, you can join this evening. But finally, while we wrap up, I just want to mention the fact that our Excel training is coming off this next week, Friday, which is on the 19th. So if you've not registered, paid to secure your slot, just contact me and then register and be part of it. There's so much that we are going to learn during that boot camp. We'll learn more advanced stuff that I believe all of us may be able to benefit from it. Okay, so does anyone have any question? Okay, so if there's, yes, I'm listening.
Yeah, this is David.
Okay.
Well, the final aspects, the last command
Okay, the
where
last
where the cell changing the color and arrange it. I wanted to know that command. I'm not getting it.
you mean this one?
Yeah, this very one. Yeah.
Okay, so it is Control T, table. It creates a table.
Oh, okay.
Yes, if that's so, if you want to turn this into a table, then it does that for you nicely.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yes. So does anyone have any other question before we close this evening session? But we'll be doing more of this webinars every month. So once you are part of our WhatsApp channel, whenever we are doing any webinar, you'll be able to know about it. We do, so you know both our free and paid webinars, trainings, all on the WhatsApp channel. So if you can join, that will help you a lot. But thank you so much for this evening. If you don't have any question, I think we can end now.